I would like to.
No, it's just
It don't bite. They're good.
I saw a lot of.
I got in there a while ago, Jim.
No, it's not gonna hurt you.
I mean, a lot of.
You might could use it.
Oh, no,
Oh, I could have used it. Like so. Like so. Who did that? That was artwork. Thanks, man. I was making
Kept one.
Oh, Kathryn.
Trailer place where they put that trailer.
The boy that did the flashing didn't do a good job. He left some cracks in it,
Going west.
and he got down through it.
The trailer place is
The
right
guy had
there.
to fix it today. He finished it up
Driveway
today.
come right like this.
That runs right in the bottom.
But he charged Mama enough, and she didn't have to pay the deductible insurance.
I'm in the driveway, I'm in the driveway.
Oh, it come around.
But she's been talking about you about paying you to fix this in
That other
here.
house now
She
sitting
got
over here.
some money left
Further
over.
off the road.
Have that.
No,
No, it's not. It's closer to the road.
It's closer to
But
the
she'll talk
road
to you about
and
it.
it's west, more west. See, mine is, this driveway.
Angie.
Come up this way.
Get out behind Kathryn.
Right here. And it comes all around
Yeah.
this way, and his house is over here.
$250, but she
And
got
it's just over the
the
road
bill
coming this
for
way.
600 something.
I had a circle
I
drive.
can't remember what she
You
said.
have her out on, coming off.
Yeah.
Two different places, yeah. But
If
see,
you
you're
call
coming
that
off the
Rick,
road, on the
call that
on that house over there, his driveway on the west side, that's his driveway. My own driveway.
Further from west.
Yeah, uh-huh. And see, you come in like this on my house, and his house is sitting right here. This is the road going here, you come off, his house sits right here facing this way. And if you come off there and you get up here, my house is sitting right here facing the road. Then you went on around like that into the road, you see.
Look around here. Your husband. Oh, yeah, I see him. Ain't he good looking?
He don't.
Oh, he's so good looking.
Hey,
You reckon he never see something?
matter of opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, he's sweet.
Another house over
It's a
there.
matter of opinion, then you hear her talking.
Well, yeah, sure, he's sweet, good looking too.
Camper place on
You don't
the
believe
land
that?
in Maryland.
Mike got it all before he was ever born. When he left, the time he came along.
Back up.
You see that house?
On the west side of the house, going west, and there's a house up there on the right, going near my house. On the right.
Okay, we don't need on that right now. They had our. Oh, they had. At the school. Hey, you trying to hide? No, I'm getting the actually is about 16 or 17 of us. Get Lola. Hey, get Lola over there.
Yeah, I'll make a good impression on her.
I washed them at dinner, Lola.
He said that he went up right and don't get him to ride, see if he'll ever do it.
Well,
And she was getting some kind of priority.
I didn't get over there. I ain't got you.
Bright's wife.
Oh, is this what she took to the turkey?
Showed us her quilt that she made. She does some. Yeah, that's why she roasted it.
Oh,
The daughter.
what's delicious.
You taking picture of the food, but
And Korean girl. And,
Get that thing off.
he married her and while he was
That's a mighty big mouthful, Angie.
It's such a little
while he
town.
was over there, he married her and she got pregnant. And her daddy told her, said, Joe Rock, said, you got her pregnant, her Korean daddy. Said, you got her pregnant. And said, you want to marry her. And said, not only are you going to.
And push the date.
Okay.
Push the date on it for just a second.
There's the date. Okay, first thing we want to do is everybody quote their favorite Bible verse out of the Koran.
Out of what?
Just quote their favorite Bible verse. Uncle Ford know what I'm talking about. Their favorite Bible verse, and we'll start with Aunt Barbara, and then kind of ziggy across until we get to like Aunt Ruth or wherever you'll wind up over here. So, Aunt Barbara, go ahead and start.
I have a lot of favorites, but this week I had a new one that came to me in the book of Proverbs, 10th chapter and 8th verse says, the memory of a righteous man is a blessing.
In John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are his everlasting arms. It's Deuteronomy 22. I don't know the verse. Part of the verse is all.
You go over here? Okay, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. But in Proverbs, that's Algie.
Jesus will.
Wake up.
God will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee.
Isaiah what?
I don't know.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Isaiah 26:3, isn't it, or 4?
I will lift mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made the heavens and earth.
where is that?
Psalms 121 and 1 and 2.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. That's one of my favorite verses, but the 91st Psalm is my favorite Psalm in the Bible.
Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say on the Lord. Right off, I can't remember what scripture reference.
27:14.
What?
Psalm 27:14.
Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. That's in the Bible.
John 14.
You want to say the whole thing?
Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Gotta talk a little louder.
Yeah, you need to talk about it.
Okay, Aunt Ruth.
They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 55. 55 honey, that's a new one. He always helps me. I can't remember.
What honey I was, those,
Okay, it's in Isaiah.
that was wings of eagle.
Louder.
I knew she left Libby now.
What? You man.
Aunt Lola.
In quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15.
Romans 8:28. All things working for the good, those who call upon his word.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You got mine, so I had to get that.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
And Catherine got mine, the Lord is my shepherd. Okay, Lionel, what's yours?
Is it show recording?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1.
Are you sure?
I got it. I got it. Yeah, I'm sure it's recording. Got REC on it.
Good. It'll show without recording.
Okay, now what we got next? Ooh, that's a rough looking bunch. That is a rough looking bunch, I'm telling you.
Some of them are.
I gave you some questions.
You got the date off from it, don't you?
I gave you some questions just before we ate supper. Now I'm going to call back the question. Whoever got that question, please answer it. Don't worry, Aunt Ned, I'll get you in a minute. Don't worry about it.
Did you get one? I read somebody else's show you
Hey.
told me.
We'll kind of start out with a little bit of seriousness first. And Aunt Dean, not necessarily because she's the maternal individual here, but she should know more about it than anybody else. And I forgot, Aunt Dean, that you're not really big on roots. And so I was going to ask her, and when she gets through, if anybody else wants to add to it, please do. One was any remembrances of Grandpa and Grandpa McGuffey. That was Mama Boone's parents, right? And I don't remember anything about them at all. But if Aunt Dean can start and tell us something, a little bit about them, and you'll kind of bring us up to date. When she finishes that, we'll go to Papa Boone's parents, your grandparents, our great-grandparents. Okay, so if we start McGuffey's first, Aunt Dean.
Well, I'm gonna need help.
Okay.
Not all at one time.
Anybody?
Yeah, if we can kind of keep it civil, because we don't only record one at a time. 2 or 3 starts talking,
Yeah.
it gets jumbled. Okay?
I can remember visiting with them in the old home where all of you have visited that house, I'm sure, but where Nyland lived for so long, and I guess lived alone down there, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty good while, yeah.
And
talking
they-
about Grandpa
Now,
McGuffey?
now McGuffey, this is what he said.
Grandpa McGuffey.
McGuffey. Oh, McGuffey first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I can remember when we lived in Macomb, in Grandpa McGuffey's house. He lived in Macomb in town, I think. We were out in the country. We were living there when Kathryn was born.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
75 years.
65 to be exact.
It will be 67 years in December.
We get to it, yeah.
I guess I was about 8 or 9 years old at that time. Kathryn said I
She
was
wasn't important, she
10.
remembers 7, you do.
But can't remember Grandpa that well. I can remember how he would, after we moved back to Sartonville, how he would come and visit with us, and I don't know where he lived in Macomb.
What did he do for a living?
He was living in 8 Lakes.
Yeah, I guess he was.
What was his job? What did he do for a living?
Sell singer
He
sewing
sold
machines.
singer sewing
He-
machines, I
Yeah,
remember that.
he's
I don't remember that.
Sewing machines.
And the last many years of his life, stay with Aunt Like them some, he'd come out and stay with Papa and Mama and us some, and A. Allen and them a little bit, not much. And he'd come out there to the house, and we would go out like he'd always come out there to the stable, he'd clean it out. And it's sort of been done a long time ago. It's going to rain and get wet. If you go out there and when it rained, it didn't get wet, he'd stick that finger in his mouth and put his finger on the wall as if to say, well, see, I told you it was going to get wet, but it wasn't. And he was a pretty good old fellow, but cantankerous.
Cantankerous. That runs in the family. Okay, well, how did he get around? When he sold singer sewing machines, how did he make his rounds? Who did he call door to door? He ride a horse, rode a mule, drove a car?
I never got Uncle Felix to take him around to different places.
Yeah,
His boy,
His son.
Mama's brother.
Okay, what about Grandma?
I don't remember.
Well, that was our step grandmother. I didn't remember her much.
Everybody called her Aunt Sis.
Mom died when she was 1 or 2 years old.
When she was a little baby.
And isn't it true that Grandpa married a sister? Is that what it was?
No.
Boone.
Grandpa McGuffey married Grandpa Boone's sister.
Sister, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, see, there were 3 sets of, Grandpa had 3 sets of children. He had Mama and Uncle Hardy and Uncle Felix, all were full brothers and sisters. Okay? Then he married Grandpa Boone's sister. And she had married an Allen, am I right?
Right.
Okay, she had married an Allen, and A. Allen, George Allen, Jimmy Cousin, and Ollie Lowe were all Mama's step brothers and sisters from Grandpa Boone's sister before, on her first marriage. Then she died, and he married another one, and he had a lack and a son.
Who was their brother?
No,
Wait,
that was theirs from Papa Boone's sister.
Alan.
Yeah,
Wait.
Alan.
from
oh,
Miss
Aunt
Allen.
Lack? Wait a minute.
And Aunt Lack and son
Well,
and
one at a
grandpa.
time.
I had three.
All right, the Aunt Lack and A and George wasn't full brothers and sisters, they were steps.
They were
Half.
half.
Had the same daddy.
The two brothers were full brothers.
Same daddy.
All right, okay.
From the Boone side, we called that grandma Aunt Sis. And I remember when she died, Grandpa was living right in front of the old washateer on Pearl River Avenue now, what's on Pearl River there in Macomb. And I remember when I was a kid, then I went in, they had a big hole, there's embalming, then there's embalming in the home. I remember going in there and they had a big hole cut in each side of her shoulders. And when Grandpa saw me in there, he jerked me out and said, "Get out of here, you're not supposed to be in here." But I was watching them do some embalming on Aunt Sis.
You learned
that time.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
I never did see her. I don't remember a thing
Probably
about it.
didn't know.
No, that's before your time.
No, I don't think you did, Doc.
But,
I
Catherine,
barely remember.
Catherine knew.
Claude, they did call her Aunt Sis when. Aunt
Yeah.
Sis,
Yeah.
Aunt Sis.
And they had your children, my children, and our children.
Mhm.
Grandpa was
Okay.
married 3 times.
Two
Huh?
times. Two times.
What?
Yeah.
His wife had died.
Grandpa was buried at Sartonville,
No, McComb.
Macomb, and Grandma was buried between Sartonville and Monticello, right?
Now wait.
In Macedonia?
Our
grandmother.
grandmother.
Our grandmother, Mama's
Ada
mother,
Right.
Maxwell, she was.
Grandma Ada Maxwell was buried at Bethel, 3 miles south of Monticello on 27th
Gotcha.
Highway.
I got you.
okay, now these 4 Allens were mother's stepbrothers and
Right.
sisters, but they were daddy's first cousins.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh,
Boy,
Yeah, we're getting into more mixed up.
getting a lot of mix here. Okay, now how about Grandpa Boone and Grandma Boone? Tell me a little bit about them.
80s, well, probably neither one.
AD can tell you all about that whenever he scared Grandpa down there that day on that.
Y'all read that in the book.
Get in the
Tell
test.
him about it, dude. Tell him about when you scared him with that paper.
No, I can't.
Read that in the Boone book.
I couldn't put what he
You
said in
can't put
script.
them words in it.
Oh, no.
He had a stroke and he was paralyzed.
Now, is he the one that was in the, who was that used to pinch us when I was just a little,
Grandpa,
okay.
you don't
No,
remember that?
There was somebody in a wheelchair in Mom Boone, Pop Boone's house when I was just a little tyke. He was in a wheelchair. Who was that?
no, Grandpa Boone died in January 1940.
Oh, I was before my time. Okay,
What was his name?
I don't remember.
What was Grandpa Boone's name?
Leander,
Leander
Pinckney,
Pinckney Boone.
Bill Boone.
Bill
What
Boone,
was Grandpa Boone's
One
name?
time.
Boone,
Catherine.
Catherine, what?
Kate.
Kate. Kate stood for the Catherine,
Yeah,
but I don't want that.
I didn't remember.
that's where you got your name.
May,
One at a time.
After 2 grandmas.
This thing won't get everybody. It won't be
Right.
nothing but a jumble.
Okay, so Grandma McGuffey's name was what? One more time.
Ada Maxwell.
Ada Maxwell, and Grandpa's name was Leander
Pinckney.
Pinkney.
that was the
Wait,
Boone.
wait now.
That was the Boone.
You going from Boone to McGuffey? Go back.
Complete McGuffey.
Okay, let's go with McGuffey. Grandpa's,
Alfred Day,
Aaron
That's
was,
me. I've named that.
Alfred Day McGuffey,
Yeah.
Aaron, Aaron Dean, Aaron.
And then the second wife,
AD's is Alfred Day.
yeah, second wife was whom?
Grandpa was Alfred Day McGuffey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yes, sir.
the grandpa.
He
was.
Daddy of Aaron.
And they did.
What, Lola?
Well, I got the obituary of Grandpa McGuffey. AD's grandpa was Aaron, and Mom Boone's grandpa was Alfred. Remember, AD, we went to his cemetery, cemetery and found it on the marker?
Right.
Took a picture of the
I
marker.
did too.
Okay,
News to me.
okay, now let's switch to the Boone again. Now then,
Leander Pinckney Boone.
and then Grandma's name was
One time.
Kate.
Catherine.
Kate or Catherine?
Sarton.
Catherine Sarton Boone. Now tell me about Grandma and Grandpa Boone.
Uncle Will Sarton was her brother. Uncle Will Sarton was her brother, and Uncle John, and who else?
Uncle John is Fred's daddy, Fred Sarton.
Mm-hmm.
And Papa, our dad, and Fred Sarton were double first cousins. Bring that in somebody, I don't know how that goes.
Tell us how that goes.
Brother and a
Claudia.
sister married a brother and a sister.
Wow.
Brother, sister, married brother.
Not many people back in those days, was it? Had to draw from the same hat all the time.
Whatever that means.
Hey, I never will forget, just about 3 or 4 years ago, John and Sarton coming up, hugging me and say, sis, I'm as close a kin as I could get to you without being your brother. Which we were double first cousins. I don't know whether you can get any
No,
closer.
you wasn't, Papa was. You was double second cousin.
Well, he said it, but rather other than being my brother.
About
Okay.
right,
And-
again.
Grandpa farmed out there.
Okay, he farmed.
Yeah, he was a farmer. And I'll tell you something else. Every kid in that Sartonville community down there respected him. If he said do this, he done it. And buddy, they didn't run over there. That Harley and Rufus Allen and a bunch of them was over in the pasture there one day in a hot summer day. They had them old block wheel wagons. And they get them old block wheel wagons and had a pole that push it down this hill, and down at the bottom was a terrace road and was Grandpa's pasture fence. So they pulled this wire up where they could go down that hill fast and go over that terrace road like that
And under the barbed wire.
under the barbed wire fence, and they had Rufus Allen halfway down that hill wide open, and it's a rocky hill. Grandpa Boone appeared on the scene. He just threw up that hand. Help! Help! Stop it! Those heels dug trenches down that. His heels, dug trenches down that rocky hill. He stopped that thing before he got down there. Everybody just got just as quiet, and he stopped that and made them put it back, put the fence back like it belonged. And I'd lots rather Papa got after me than him.
You throw that cob at that rooster, wasn't you?
Yeah.
What did it say?
Hurry, hurry.
Hurry. Oh, hurry. Okay. Okay.
Read the book, you'll see.
Okay. Well, let's go to some questions now.
Grandpa died in 1943, or 1941. Boone.
40,
Okay.
January 40.
I want to ask one more before we kind of get into
Grandma in 1955.
into some of the little bit funnier stuff. But I gave Aunt Barbara a question. Who had the most influence on her life? And I think it's kind of special, right now, considering, the circumstance. So I'm going to ask her to expound on that a little bit and share some thoughts with us.
If I can.
Okay, I understand.
Person that had the most influence all my life, of course, was Ford. He was, I felt like God gave him to me for a special reason, probably to punish him, but to help me. He was my spiritual mentor. He was my husband, my lover, and he excelled in everything. I've always thought when I was married and he was alive that he was the most wonderful person in the world. But since he's been dead, I realize that more and more. I told Mark the other day, I said, I think the last gentleman in the world died when your daddy died. Because I've seen him, women that he didn't even know, come with a heavy load, and he'd go and open the door for him, offer to take it. Things that men don't do anymore. But he had more influence on my life. He helped me when I was down. Sometimes he was the reason I was down. But we went through some good times and some hard times. But he is the most spiritual man that I ever knew. I knew him because I knew him in the home and I knew him in the church. And I can truthfully say that I never heard him say one bad thing about any of his family or any of his church members. And that wasn't always true with me. And he was always quick to point out good points when I'd point out bad points. And I realized that's not something that we're born with, that it was a trait that God gave him. He prayed more than any man I ever knew. And he lived at home. I don't know why God took him, because he did so much good, and other people like me and others don't do anything. I won't know till I get to heaven. But he had the most influence on my life. I really think, well, I was saved before I met Ford, and I was sanctified. But I think the devil would have tripped me up, and I probably would be out in the world and lost today if it had not been for his guidance and his help and his love and his devotion. He loved his family deeply, almost as much as he loved God. I never had first place in his life. I knew that. God always did. But he had the most influence on my life, and still does. That's why that proverb that I read this week in my devotions meant so much to me. The memory of a righteous man is a blessing, and his memory is a blessing. It's not much comfort at night when I'm lonely, but he had the most influence, not only on my life, but other people's lives too.
I say amen to all.
And he was a man of God.
He was special, that's for sure. I remember we were sitting over the table just then, just brief, I know we're in a hurry. Aunt Jean made a statement about Ronnie when he ran away that time, and he made a statement, anybody but Uncle Ford to meet him at that bus. and I know how it is, because when Uncle Ford got on the phone, I cringed. I think all of us did, because we knew that Uncle Ford was going to tell it like it is, and he wasn't going to throw any bones. He talked from the heart, because he genuinely loved people, genuinely. And he's the only person I ever have known that's ever been that way, except my wife and me. But he was special, and I miss him. And there's a lot of people in this world, if they ever make it, it's going to be because of Uncle Ford.
He loved unconditionally.
That's right, yeah.
He and I could go down the street and see a bum on the road, and I saw a dirty old man throwing his life away, and he'd see a man that could be redeemed by the blood of Jesus and a precious soul. And he just loved unconditionally.
Yeah.
Otherwise he wouldn't have loved.
That's right. Uncle Ford is still here. I still feel him. His influence is still here, and will be here for a long, long, long time. And I think we can take a lot of assurance in that. But we all are going to miss him. He's a very unique and special individual.
One other thing, Lionel, he was more spiritual, more like Papa Boone than any of the boys.
Oh yeah. He used to, when I was a teenager, even as I got older, I was always afraid when Uncle Ford preached. Because I was afraid to get in that church. I said, oh man, just let me get through this. Because he would put it in you, you know what I mean?
He lived what he preached.
He sure did. And boy, he didn't cut no slack to nobody. I appreciate that, Aunt Barbara. Thanks. This is getting a little bit more on the light side. And I've got the questions here, and I'm going to call them out. And some of them are, kind of funny. And then when we get through, I'm going to, off the cuff, I just want to ask some questions to some of you real quick. But as I call out the questions, whoever got them, please answer it. The first one is, I think this is Uncle Algie. Well, what did you do when you saw the first car? Now, to me, that's a stupid question, because I've seen cars all my life. But then Aunt Jewel was saying, wait a minute, think of it back in, the golden years, when everybody rode the horses, and you guys were talking a little bit earlier, no electricity and all this kind of stuff. So what was your impression when you first saw an automobile? What did you think that creature was?
Man, I don't even remember. I don't remember when I first saw the first one, to tell you the truth. I remember the mule and wagons, though. But I don't know. I wondered. I wanted to see what they were made out of and look at them.
Did they scare you?
No. No, I wasn't like A.D. A.D.'d open the gas tank and smell of
See what octane it has. See how much octane it has.
You kick the tires.
You're right.
time. Next question is, what was wash day like? Now, who had that question?
That was me.
Okay.
That was, we started out drawing water, putting it in the wash pot.